Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today taking a look at one of the newer releases for the Vintage Collection line, and that is Zorii Bliss from The Rise of Skywalker. Background image is looking great. My guess is we're seeing her on her home world of the planet Kijimi. This is at least according to Wikipedia. So I'm only guessing that's the environment we're seeing here. But along with that background, you're also getting a great shot of Zorii standing there holding one of her guns out. Of course, through the blister, you do see the included figure. A couple updates have been made to this card. Top left corner, that age notification is now just in a little bubble with the 4+. And the next noticeable change on the front is the name pill, which is now much larger. Has a larger font to go along with it. And I think the font itself is maybe different. It's kind of hard to tell. On the back side, things have changed here also. You're now getting 10 images of other figures that are also available spread across the top half of that card. Gone is that brief write-up talking about celebrating the legacy of Star Wars. In the top right corner, you see she's number 157 in the line. And the bottom half is just an abundance of legal information in all sorts of different languages. And now looking at the figure out of the packaging, overall, very nice figure. If you notice by the image on the front of the card, there's a lot of detailing to this costume. And for the most part, everything got translated over pretty well. I think for some of those fine details, this was just a little bit too small of a figure for that to really show through. Going in for a closer look at the helmet. First up, in case you're wondering, nope, not removable. We're not going to see what she looks like under that helmet just yet. But overall, really nice design. I think once you see it, you can never unsee it. But from the profile, this does look like Rey's speeder. Nice dark wash going over that gold color. You're getting a lot of lines sculpted in there for some seams and whatnot. Black painting for the visor of the helmet is looking really good. Going in for the rest of the top half of this figure, it's a lot of that purple costume, very skin tight. And on that costume, she should have some sort of ribbing detail or something kind of on the outer sides of each arm. In person, you can kind of see it. I mean, it is ever so slight on her right arm. I don't even know if the camera's picking it up yet. On her left arm, I just don't see it at all. I think this is where just being such a small figure doesn't help some of those fine details come through. Pretty okay with that. It is what it is. And aside from that purple costume, you're just getting a lot of this golden copper color for some decoration. That armor piece around her neck is looking pretty good. Nice black outlines running through there. And then on her biceps and on the wrists, some more golden coloring, some jewelry pieces, some costume detailing. Running just under her bust line, that coloring is coming across more brown than copper or gold. I wish it stood out like it did for the rest of the arms. At least judging by the photo, it seems like it should be more gold instead of brown. Running around the back side, much of the same. Just that purple costume, those golden colors continue. Some very subtle wrinkles being done in the fabric sculpting. Running around the waist, you can see double holsters here. And no, those are not placed on backwards. She does wear her weapons with the handles facing forward. Nice gold color painting for the belt. And here we're getting a little bit better pickup of some of those ornate detailings being sculpted in there. Both on the actual belt and then the belt for the holster and then running along where the weapons are being held. Judging by the photo on the front, once again, it does seem like the entire holster should be done in that gold color. Instead, it's more of a brown. Same with the straps running around her legs. So I do wish that that golden color was showing through more than just being brown. In case you're wondering, the holsters themselves are not attached to the legs. It's just attached at the belt running around the waist. So you're not going to get any limitation using the articulation for the legs. And then looking down at those legs, that purple coloring of the costume continues. Same skin tight design, and I think that's coming across very well with some very subtle wrinkles being sculpted in for that fabric. Sculpting and detailing for the boots are looking pretty good. I will say though that I've had a nightmare of a time getting this figure to stay standing upright. Many of you watching this, I'm sure, have moved plenty of ankle joints in your time, and you know how they kind of snap into a place that they want to be. And that little sweet spot just makes for a difficult position to have this figure standing. So the slightest bump to a shelf or something and she's just going to fall right over on you. Going in for the articulation, head's going to swivel all the way around. You get some nodding forward and back, and then also your tilting side to side. Around the middle of the waist is where she's going to swivel all the way around. Some crunching forward and back, and a little bit of tilting side to side. Arms, for the most part, raise up 90 degrees. For some reason, her right arm, for me, is not lifting up as high as her left arm. You get your swivel in there. Elbows are going to bend a little past 90 degrees, plus you have your rotation. As for her wrists, they're only going to swivel on you. And even with the holsters off to the side, she still does the splits quite well. Plus you have your rotation in the top of that hip joint, allowing you to bring the legs forward, but hardly anything for going back. A little bit lower on the thigh, you got your rotation in there. You got a single joint bend at your knee, plus your rotation for that. And then also your swivel ankle, and your foot comes forward like so, and of course goes backwards. As far as accessories, she comes with 2 blasters, both of them looking identical. I appreciate the gold painting that's been applied. It has a nice black color for the plastic itself. And judging by the photo I see on the front of the card, it seems like these match up pretty well. She can hold each weapon nicely in her hand. And then, of course, as I mentioned, she's got the functioning holster, so you can place those weapons in there. So overall for me, this is a great looking figure. Certainly exciting to see something new, have that moment of, what's this character all about? What's going to happen in the movie? Hopefully she gets some good screen time and doesn't just end up being another Zuvio figure. So that wraps up this review. Let me know in the comments section what your thoughts are on this figure. And as always, I thank you for watching.